Good morning YouTube and welcome to volume 5 of Teatime Technicals. Technically it's not tea time, it's Saturday morning, but time just to have a look through the past week's performance, what went well, what could be improved. I had to work late last night, so by the time I got home I did attempt to record this, but I was just too tired, to be fair. So let's have a look. So last week, there was only 2 winning positions that I had, and then of those winning positions, the second one got taken out for break even. That was on the pound USD and pound yen. All the other trades, orders got filled and then they were stopped out. So overall, end of the week down 1.67%, and that was over 12 trades. So the average win it's saying was 26 pips, average loss was 38. So down 1% for the first week. Is this good or bad? It's not terrible. And this is the first week I can honestly say that I've ever really stuck to my plan. I've only traded at a specific time of day. I've only used pending orders as opposed to instant execution, and I was looking for the same setup on the charts. Now, things that can be improved, there are a few that I'm already aware of. One, and probably the most important one, is throughout the week when I was looking at potential trades, each day I was narrowing it down to 2 pairs, and on those 2 pairs I'd then put together the 2 trades, set the orders and go away. So the coming week my plan is to reduce that by half. So I want to be looking for 1 good trade. So I will look through the pairs, look at which one is potentially giving me the best setup and stick with that. Also on top of that, what I felt I could improve on is that maybe I could have some more patience as well. Just because I'm looking at the chart at 5 o'clock doesn't necessarily mean that I have to look at setting the order. What I found last week was most of the trades, I think there was 2 occasions where I cancelled the order because price didn't move the right way, but in most cases the orders took at least 4 or 5 hours to even move to where the order was set. So there's more time. So I think I need to look at potential setups on the 5 pairs, maybe narrow it down to 2, watch those pairs, check with them on the next hour close. Obviously 6 o'clock the new 4-hour candle forms, see what happens at 7, and then from there I may be able to get some better setups, better confirmation. What I found was that all the orders that I've set, most of the trades had to move. I think most, if you say average of minimum of sort of 20 pips. So the market, even though I got stopped out, the market had to move 20 pips in the first instance. So if it was long or short, I was having to wait for 20 pips to move, then the order was getting filled, then it would either go on or, as we found last week, it would stop me out. So there's other things that I can look at there, because I'm looking at the hour time frame to set up these, I guess, smaller swings, as it were, the trend continuation. But every trade has had to move 20 or 30 pips to get to the order fill. So if I'm looking at the 5-minute chart, there may be opportunities to capitalise on that initial move to where I think the order should be filled. But that's something that I will look at later on. At the moment, I've had 6 trades this week. It says 12, but each trade was 2 positions on 1 pair, so technically it's 6 trades, 12 positions. So I will look to have 1 trade at a time. It'll either go, stop, hit targets, and only after that 1 trade has been closed or stopped. I mean, if it is at break even, if we, hit target 1, move to break even, that's fine. I can look at another trade. But if a trade's still running, I just need to let that trade run, do its thing before I start entering other trades. So that's the biggest thing. Lot size, I'm happy with that. I think it was more paying attention to the structure and maybe the overall bias that I will look at on the weekly review tomorrow. So determining a bias for the week and also sticking to that. So if I feel, unless something major happens, that the bias or the overall trend is bullish or bearish, I should only be looking for those setups. So what may happen, and which didn't happen this week, is there may be a time where I have to wait 2 or 3 days before a valid setup happens. And that's not a bad thing, because if you're not taking a trade, you're not risking anything, and not risking anything is better than entering a trade for the sake of having a trade and then that trade losing. So there's been a lot of things that I've learned in this last week, and obviously it's a very short period. It's 6 trades, obviously, to either confirm or invalidate this theory of the 1 hour time frame being used for this strategy. I need a minimum of 100 trades, and with the current position side, we need the trades down here to hit 200 to give us that pool of information to go back and then really what you'll see here on the percent gains and what's happened, the daily, monthly, all these charts will show what's happening. So this is just a drawdown. It's 6 trades, 2 trades won, 4 trades lost. It's not the worst, but I think this is a good thing that's happening like this, because I think it sort of is really making me focus more on what I need to be doing. So the other aspect of this strategy that could look at being changed is potentially the entry point of the trade. So at the moment I'm using 3 pips to enter the trade above the high and using a 3 pip stop below. That's what the Forex Signal TV we're using on the 5-minute chart. So on the 5-minute chart, 3 pips might be the correct position to have the orders. On the hour, it might mean I need to look at something maybe around 5 pips or 10 pips. There were a few trades this week that the price spiked up and then it just reversed. I managed to somehow pick the perfect point of the reversal. So although I thought the trade was going to go, it just was a point where it hit resistance and then it fell or went up the opposite way. So again, this is why maybe waiting a few more hours, looking at 6 o'clock open, 7 o'clock open, 8 o'clock open before I put the orders. It means the videos won't come out straight away, but it does mean that I've got at least 3 hours more information to work with, rather than what we're going, putting the orders in, going, because things do change. So I'll quickly look, we'll just have a quick rundown of the trades that I did take, just to see, and it will become apparent what I'm talking about with the positions that I've been taking. So pound USD, so again, target 1, 40 pips. So as we can see, this was one of the first trades. So again, price moved probably 20 pips before it entered. It did almost push, but reversed. So it wasn't the worst trade. That one, stop loss 40, filled, hit target 1. So that's one of the winning trades. Pound yen. So again, we can see price pushed down and pretty much had a triple bottom and then completely reversed. So that was, maybe on the pound yen, it might be the wider entry, just because the volatility is a bit higher on this pair. But again, price pretty much reversed from that point. Euro USD, again, we got stopped out on this position. Well, actually, I cancelled this one because price did push hard. So it's one example where one of the orders just didn't actually go where I needed it to go. So we were looking here and then price just continued. So not to worry. Aussie CAD, this one spiked below and then obviously dropped off the face of the earth. Euro USD long, again switched my bias. I thought, it's going up, and perfect example, spiked me, pretty much fell. Euro Aussie long, this one was one more of the best ones, but again, I maybe if I had a bit of a wider stop, may not have hit, but again, maybe I got in too early. Pound yen again, and hit target 1, but then after target 1, price just reversed from that area. So again, you've got these bit of structure here. And the last idea I was looking at last night was the Euro Oz price pushed lower. That was a bad trade, just because even though it didn't get anywhere near my entry, I just felt that, you know, something could happen. I was looking at the 5-minute chart, didn't play out, so I cancelled the order. So those are the things we can look at, or I should look at, I should say, this coming week. Again, I'm very happy that I made sure that the risk on each trade was below 1%. So this week we will aim to have a better week's performance, but overall, this is just part of trading. So I'll have weeks like this. There'll be weeks when, you know, you may have winning weeks in a row, but I'm not fazed by this. Again, the whole point of this exercise is to create new habits and create better structure in my trading. It's the most structured week's trading I've ever had. So I'm looking at getting a application so I can download the MetaTrader 4 app instead of using the web browser, so I can install, update the password, so this profile will all become public. But again, got nothing to hide, hence why I'm showing it on YouTube and on my Twitter. So in the meantime, I will do a review of the market tomorrow. We can look at some potential areas to watch, biases, what I feel, and we'll just go for another week and we'll just start again, see what happens. But for the time being, I hope you've enjoyed this last week, and you know, hopefully I'm portraying more of a realistic viewpoint of what forex trading is like. Again, I'm not an expert, I'm not giving signals or anything like that. I'm just trying to show that I'm a struggling trader. I'm sure there are plenty of struggling traders that are out there, but it's the more we do something in a more structured manner, the better we will get. So it's just, you know, the more you practice at something, the better you will get. So enjoy your weekend, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll take a look at the market tomorrow and see what this next week brings us.